Hi everyone. Going to take a little moment just to take you on a journey around St Thomas and just to think about everything that we've managed to achieve over the last 10 years. So St Thomas Church of England Primary School is 10 years old, and I will talk a little bit about the fact that I'm not going to be around too long, but I think it's more important really just for a little while just to talk a little bit and just to tell you a bit about everything that we've managed to do in those 10 years. All of the great people that have worked here, all of the things that we've done before we come back and just say a little bit of a ta-ra and everything else. So things like these houses that we put into place, they've been great, along with the dojos and everything else. Lovely to have those kind of things going on in school. One of many things that we've done at St Thomas. So to do this, what I'm going to do is, because people quite often ask me, Mr. Rushby, how come you managed to be outside the school and at the gates and talking to people and in the classrooms and everywhere else? I'm going to show you some magic today. So I'm going to show you exactly how I managed to transport myself all around the school. And for the children as well, if you want to watch and observe, maybe you could try this at home, because you might be able to do it yourself. It's a bit of a trick though, it's a bit of a skill. I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Right, so let's get ready to have a little tour of the school. I'll show you exactly how it works. All you need to do is you squeeze your nose, jump up in the air, and then think about the place where you want to be and it will take you there. So children, if you try this, sometimes it takes a little bit of practice, but if you try it, pretty sure it works most of the time. So watch carefully. See if it works. There you go. Still got it. So we're in the library. Best library ever. Lots of people have said that to me. They've come and visited the school. This didn't exist 10 years ago. This was a little porky dated computer room, and now look at it, it's fantastic. So I cleared out all of the books, all the old books out of here, filled it and spent thousands of pounds over the last couple of years putting in a really fantastic library for you, for the children to be able to come and get some great books. Favourite place, one of the favourite places in the school. What a really nice place to be. Let's go somewhere else though. Let's try again. Remember, hold the nose, think about where you want to be. Not everybody's going to know where we are now, but children, kids, you know exactly where we are. So this is the book tent. Book tent's awesome. It's a 1982 British military issue, K2-10. It's built for winter conditions and Arctic conditions, because it's got flaps where you put the snow up and it stops the heat getting out. But we use it to sell books. We've sold thousands and thousands of books over the last year or so since we put it up. What a great place to be. Friday morning as well. Normally this is where we'd be selling books and books and books and books. But we'll be back, and I'm sure this tent will be in good use, and it's full of books all ready for you to come and get. £1, how about that for a book? Anyway, let's go somewhere else. So this place is the story hub, and the idea with this place was that you could come here, forget you're in school, and learn some stories, so we could have somebody in that chair telling us something wonderful. And we've done that lots of times. We've had Henry VIII, we've had Santa Claus, we've had ogres and giants, we've had lots of people in here, and we've had children, but we need more children in. So this is a great resource. This needs to be busy. What a fantastic place to be. But the idea was that as you wandered around it as well, whoops, that's the bin gone over. As you wandered around it, there were lots and lots of little great things that you could learn about, like trophies that could help you to think about stories that could be written, and trombones like that one up there. There we go. And somewhere in here I have my daughter's ballet shoes. Oh, well, she's 13 now, I don't think she's going to fit in those. So this didn't exist at all, this wasn't here 10 years ago when we created St Thomas. And there's a lot of other things that weren't here as well, because it's a fantastic place to be, and it's really awesome when you come outside and you see all of these great things. So if we have a little look, I'll just flip it round. That space down there, which is the early years space, so all of that space that's fenced off, everything over there. That used to be a flat sports field 10 years ago. There was nothing there. You couldn't get into the reception area, the classrooms. That was just a little bit of grass and nothing else. The children used to have to use the nursery spaces. Another space that we developed, outdoor garden. So over there, you'll know all about that one. You'll have been inside. We've got a pond, an orchard. We've got a garden in there for bereavement, and an outdoor classroom, so children can come outside, learn outside, spend all the time outside, because at the end of the day children are wired to be outside, they're supposed to be outside. And then if we come up here, we have the BMX track, so that's a pretty cool thing. So we're looking at getting some children on bikes, and we've managed to do that. We need to spend a bit more time possibly outside riding bikes, but we have a curriculum that can help us to do it. Cummins worked with us on this, and it's a pretty cool space. It's got 2 of Jamie Frost's sculptures now in the middle, and we've got 30 bikes for 30 children, so they can spend their time riding bikes, because kids like to ride bikes. So that's pretty great, and that didn't exist there until about 2 or 3 years ago. So all of this space outside school has been completely redesigned. That's the idea, to try and make it feel a little bit like it's not really school. So I'm going to pop this back. We'll go somewhere else. Remember, hold the nose, think about where you want to be, and let's see if it works. Okay, all right, stay with me. Let's go. So we've got an outdoor gym as well and everything. Got an outdoor gym, and we've got a minibus, and right now I think I've got a big group of year 5s coming, so I'm going to have to get moving. See ya! So this place is pretty great, but you have to talk quite quietly, because we don't want Mrs. Kane to know we're here, because if we're here she'll come along and she'll start making lots of noise, because that's what she does. But it's good noise though, we like it. So this didn't exist. This was somewhere for everybody to get changed when it's wet. The garden didn't look like that. We made spaces, toadstools, and worked with Grow to make sure that we had nice places to eat on a lunchtime, nice spaces to play, so it looked nice. People thought the school was a cool place to be. And another thing that I'm really proud of is this. This is the hunger hut. So I decided that the children weren't in Key Stage 2 weren't getting very much, because everybody in Key Stage 1 gets their free school meals and milk and whatnot. So we decided to work with Huddersfield Town. I'll be coming back to change the paint job, Clara and Amber. But all the same, they have paid over the last 5-6 years for every child in Key Stage 2 to have a piece of fruit. So let's get moving before Mrs. Kane finds us. Just pop it back there. See where we turn up next. See if we can try and avoid the classrooms. Ready? You alright? Yeah, you alright? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Okay. Ciao. Anyway, Tommy, here's... Oh, there's a fly in my tea. So here we are in the front garden now. Have a little wander around. This is one of my favourite places because we did a lot to this. So you can see that we've got the flagpole. Don't many schools who have the flagpole. Got a flagpole when we first started. One of the first things I bought. And how nice that when you come to this school, come up that street, you can see the school looking nice and proud at the end of it. This garden, designed by children, created by parents and children, looked after by parents, children and Amma. It's a great space. Absolutely love this this garden. It used to be a bit of grass with 2 or 3 rose bushes, not a lot else. That tree over there was planted by me 10 years ago to celebrate, or 9 years ago to celebrate our first birthday. So I'll just go and show you something else. Past all of the plants and everything else, and we put this rock here is doing its privets. Bear with us. So you can see here we've got a rock down at the front and it says growing together in strength. That's a rock that we put there after 1 year, and I love that rock because it's all about the community. So it is about growing together in strength in school, but more importantly it stands out as you walk past the school. For anybody walking past, anybody in Bradley, for me it's all about the community being strong, and the school is a big part of that community. Alright, ta-ra, we'll see you in a tick. Okay, so I'm kind of back where it all started now. So this was my first class 18 years ago, and I had a year 3 and 4 class, and those children now will be nearly 30 years old, and that means I'm getting pretty old. But it's a long time, and it kind of shows how far we've come. When I came into this classroom all of those years ago, there was no whiteboards, no electronic teaching tools. These things I kind of helped to bring in and put into the classrooms and teach people how to use them in the school. Before that we had rotating boards, and when I first came the school was in a bit of trouble. It had supposed to have 220 children, but it had 160 children because lots of families decided to leave. It had just gone into special measures. It had a poor reputation, but when I turned up to work here I absolutely fell in love with it. And those children who are now parents and things that I still see now, fantastic, absolutely great people. I kind of knew it was right for me because I'd gone to a school in Bradford that was quite similar, and from my background I could understand and relate to the families I was working with. So it was great. I had 36 children in this class with Mrs. Moran, and we did a really great job. Absolutely loved it. We had the inspectors everywhere, the local authority everywhere. Windows got smashed. We had to cancel sports day once and bring the children in because there was an incident outside. Mr. Atkinson was here, Miss Denton was the head teacher at the time. It was just a totally different place. There were windows all the way down there, and I can remember boys sort of running down the corridor making lots of noise and things like that, and there were lots of things to tackle and to try and work out. But we look at it now and it's a lovely place. This is Mr. Smith's class from this year with year 3, and it's been a totally different place to work from all of those years ago. So I look at this place, I look at the journey we've been on, and I can see throughout my little trip around the school today, I can see exactly what we've managed to do. So I hope it doesn't seem completely big-headed to be able to do this. It's not really about that, but I do feel really proud about everything that we've done and how the school looks and feels. Right, I'm heading back to my office so we can finish this chat off now. Okay, back in the office. Let's take a seat. Let's say a few words. Okay, so just a few things to finish off. It's my last broadcast and it's the hardest broadcast, despite the pandemic and everything else that I've had to manage that don't exist in my leadership handbooks. But we're at a point now where I feel really pleased that I did stay, and it feels like school's finished in a decent place regardless of the bigger problems. So just to say a few things really in relation to our families and our children, to the staff and everything and everybody here and what they mean to me. So first of all, one of the proudest days of my life was getting a job here in the first place. I always knew it was going to be really hard, always knew it was going to be a challenge, but I look at the place now and feel so proud of all the staff, all of the children, and I feel like this community can fly. Over the last 18 years or so, I've seen children leave well placed, I've seen them succeed, seen them go to university. Your kids can do anything that they want to do, they can go do anything that they want to be, and when I turned up here, I'm not sure that people felt quite the same way. So I feel like the self-esteem of the community, the self-esteem of the school is thriving, and as I leave knowing that I've had something to do with that, and it's been a privilege along the way to look after everyone. As far as Bradley's concerned, this place, it's unforgettable, it's diverse, it's proud, and as long as there's a mutual respect between the school and staff and the people inside and outside, then it'll always be together. And I feel like that's been one of the biggest achievements, to work with all of my families, all of our parents, and to have a relationship which I consider to be far more than a teacher school head teacher relationship. I feel like I know people, I feel like there's mutual care and consideration, and when people have had problems, it's been good to be able to help and to work together and to do things in the right way, which is kind of what we've managed to do, which is not easy. It's a lot harder than it looks, isn't it? So I'd like to say really to the parents, to everybody, for all of your patience, for all of your support, I'd like to say a massive thanks. And some of the parents that I'm talking to now were the children in the classroom that I've just been to, or the classrooms that I work in every day. To see those generations of children come through and to see the parents together in this community is it's remarkable. So thank you for that. Thanks for all the good times, thanks for the laughter, thanks for the kindness, thanks for the gifts, but make sure you put your name on them so I can send a message back. Thank you for everything that you've been. I hope that your family and the school stay well, and I hope, having survived this recent pandemic, I hope that you can come back in September and really enjoy education, enjoy school life, and maybe, you know, appreciate some of those things a little bit more, yourself and the children and the teachers. For the children, just a little message really for the children. I was asked when I spoke to all of the children, the first thing that somebody said was, why are you leaving? And it threw me. I couldn't answer the question, but whoever it was asked absolutely the right question, because they also said that I said that I'd never leave, and I'm leaving because I'm ready to leave, and for all the children who come here, when you come into reception in year 1, year 2, when you get to year 6, you start the next chapter of your life. And that next chapter is really important. It's really important that you have that to look forward to, and that you can put your energies, your efforts, and you can work hard in that next chapter of your life. And this is the next chapter for me. So when our year 6s leave to go to their next chapter, which is high school, I'm doing the same thing. I'm leaving this school and I'm taking everything that's happened, and I'm taking all of those memories and all of those achievements, and I'm going on to the next chapter in my life. Now, that means that I'm going to be helping and working with other teachers, head teachers, and other schools to hopefully make them strong and together, just like you are. So I'm going to say bye, but hopefully I'll see you anyway. So nothing changes, and I'd just like to say thanks to all the staff for all those contributions over the years. And I feel like I'm leaving one of the proudest things. The job that I had to do was to create a staff team that had the capacity and the ability to continue to strengthen this school. And that's something that I feel like I've done. So I leave the staff here to do some great things and to continue the journey. And it's the same for everyone. And I'd like to say bye to the children, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. And when I see you, make sure you say hello, make sure you talk to me, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And when I see the parents, I've always got time for a chat. So take care, stay strong, and be fantastic.